Hey guys, my browser just went and decided to stop. So now I'm going to go to that one real quick and try and let people know what's going on. Yikes. Okay. Let me get there. Let me get there. I'm gonna let you guys know. Please don't be me in my ear. I don't want me in my ear. All right. Hey, trying to alert folks just to let them know. Hey guys, sorry about that. My browser just kind of went and no. But yes, I'm back. What an adventure indeed. I think it's working now. Can you guys see and hear me now? Is it fine? Are we okay? When you emerge from the shadows, Chris, the shadows. Yes, the shadows of the Ethernet. They fight back. Nope, it was not. That was weird. Volcanic Meadow, yes. And it was like, shut it down. Yes. So, anyway, basically it's time to get real. Get real with yourself today on like why you're really like exploding. And aim that energy towards something that you want around, man. Quite frankly. Like it doesn't have to be something productive. Because I think this idea, all right, son, just go away. Fine. I didn't need you. But I think this idea of being productive is being passed around right now, and there's a lot of pressure on like that. But I think we also need to define what the fuck productive even means. Because productive to different people is different things. If you are someone who deals with major depression, brushing your freaking hair is productive. Okay? Perspective. Thank you, Orb. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it was like all up right in here. So yeah. Get real with yourself and just really ask, like, what's the problem here? And then tend to that. Give yourself space with that. If you need to channel that fuel into something, then do it. If you need to scream, do it. I'm all about the screaming. Just scream. Yeah, definitely let them scream. Exactly, Gargoyle. Sometimes there is an adrenaline that comes from doing that just really helps. I had a double tooth infection over the winter, and well, yeah, it was the winter. And even though it hurt to speak, there was a certain point where I just got on and did like Children of Bodom and stuff, like Bodom, because I was like, I just need to let this out because I'm so frustrated. Tooth pain is horrible. And yeah, so I just scream through the pain just to let it out. So it helps. It's therapeutic for sure. And voice, again, sound has a lot of power. GW says I've been getting a lot, and I mean a lot, of shadow pokers lately. And Chris, you know how hard-headed I am. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But I mean, again, that's what's the next step for you? Where do you go from that? Even if it's a baby step, like what's the next step? What's another action you can do then to help with that? Because I think what happens with a lot of the shadow poking and the shadow work is that we'll like get stuck in this one position where we're just down on ourselves, or we think that we have to live in the shadow, or it becomes our identity, and it's not meant to be your entire identity. It's meant to be integrated, right? So all parts of you. So how do we do that? We find some sort of action. We bite-size that shit down until it feels manageable instead of insurmountable, because it's anything but that. The potential that we have as human beings, like, is fucking insane. So what do you need to do piece by piece to get there? whatever that is. I do too. It's so healthy for them. Yes. Screaming helps. Caitlin mood. Self-worth has been a huge theme for me lately, and tearing everything down and trying to build myself back up. And it's so scary, especially right now. Yeah. Well, and just to tear everything down and build yourself back up, it's very much sort of that Inanna's descent thing. But just remember that you do come out of it a queen. Well, realizing that you were a queen regardless of what the garb was that you wore, but still. Garbo Mistress, just going through puberty is hella shadow. That's just what I think, yeah. Oh, for sure. I think that everyone always has struggles and things, you know? Like, that's just human. But it's also human to move forward, to look on the horizon as well, to progress in whatever way that is. If I scream, my mom and dad are like, shut up, we're watching TV. Well, maybe you should encourage them to scream as well. Everyone join in, the whole family. We do chaos art as well to help my kids. Ooh, chaos art. I like the sound of that. Yes, you should tell us more about chaos art. Maybe some people need that right now. I have a book, and when I'm mad at something or someone, I write it down and rip it up the paper and destroy it. It really helps. Yes, I love that idea. No, that's a great thing. And you can choose how to destroy it too, right? Like you can rip it up, you can burn it, you can dissolve it in water, you can do a bunch of stuff to it. You can paint on it. Yes, I am not going to scream to save your ears because this Yeti microphone is very sensitive. But I'm screaming in spirit with everybody screaming. I'm already plenty loud, I'm sure. But no, so those were the main two. But then off of that, I pulled two more guys, right? So we had volcano volatility and meadow vulnerability. I'll show those again. It's also really interesting that like the orangey yellow here becomes the thing that actually sprouts out of the ground. It becomes new life. So the things that need to kind of burst and erupt become the seeds for new growth as well. Need to tend to Fenrir. Yes, give him pets for me. Okay. The next ones, it's really funny because we're talking about like screaming and voice and yelling and all of this shit. It's music harmony, guys. I mean, I don't know if I'm that chick like listening to her thing. Like, let me just get my coffee. Like, you know, but I don't know if I'd be playing it quite that bored. That's not quite the mood we're going for, but still, like, we stand a queen anyway. Music harmony is about the importance that everyone's individual notes have to make a song. Like you make a chord with a bunch of individual notes, and that chord creates the harmony, right, of all of those notes. And then from that, you create a song. So it's really important again, and I'm seeing this going around, so that's great. I love that this is going around, but the importance that everybody's going to respond very differently. You guys, as a deaf midwife, I was trained in the fact that people grieve extremely differently. You guys are probably sick of me talking about this topic because it's like in every fucking lie that I have. But essentially, everyone grieves very individually. And right now, as a whole, we are doing this wave of grief as a means of the way of death. And now I'm not just talking about literal people dying, which they are, but I'm also talking about the proms that kids didn't have to have or didn't get to have, or the weddings that weren't given, the funerals that they never got to say goodbye with, the moment your children leave for school and you have the rest of the house to yourself, you know, like those kind of moments we're mourning right now because we don't have that. It was our normalcy, and now we're having to find another norm. We're in a point of transition or liminal space, and so it's hard for a lot of people right now, and people deal with that very differently. Some people want to place blame, and so because it gives them a sense of like a concrete thing, right? So they'll blame themselves, or maybe they'll blame a family member, or they'll blame like a higher power, or they'll blame like the government. They'll blame a bunch of things. And I'm not saying that none of these warrant any blaming, but just follow me here. So, or like the hospital, something like that. And so there's a lot of that where people will try and like point finger and find the answer so that it feels like they have some sort of resolve. And that comes out in being a list maker, in breaking down consistently and crying, having grief waves. It comes out in anger. It comes out in frustration. It comes out in so many different ways. It comes out in pushing yourself to do more things or be hopeful, right? Like some people, their means of operating is to lean towards that positivity thing. And it's not so much that they're not acknowledging it, because they could be acknowledging it in their room at night with themselves. But during the day, the thing that's keeping them going to the next transition is just trying to find the light. So be mindful right now, guys, that what's going on, like people are dealing with it very differently. And it does not mean that your experience of what's going on is any less valid. That's just human beings. We deal with shit differently because we are different. We all have a specific natal chart for a fucking reason. So we're in a point of transition and people don't know what to do with it. So they're finding the best way that they know how to deal with it right now. So please be supportive of that as best you can. And understanding, but also don't withhold your own voice and your own space and your own feelings within this world either, because they're just as valid. I went on a little bit of a tangent, but that's why y'all love me. I'm back. Teens have such a hard time understanding why they feel how they feel. It's a great release. Yes, absolutely. Oh, wait. So did you say... Okay, so for people watching later, Chaos Art... I'm going to wait for this dump truck to go by. Rude. Okay. Chaos Art is where they take canvases outside and set them on the ground and use whatever to create art. Dirt, paint, blood, nail polish. Then you can keep or destroy it. She says also melting crayons, Barbies, and other stuff that melts too. So basically going hog wild on it. I love that. Get it out. Yes. That's like the Office Space means of like breaking the fax machine, but like it's on a canvas. That's great. I love that. Nicole says, agreed. We all have to be considerate and really understanding right now because everyone deals with everything differently. That gave it I love your mug. Thank you. Hey. I am obsessed with skulls. I have quite the collection of mugs. There's skulls on this too. And then, you know, you see back here. But they're all over my house. Let's see. Just catching up on chat a little bit. Okay. Yes, no, Jilzy, thank you for those ideas. I agree. That is great. And I think that's a wonderful way for people to let out stuff without like feeling bad about letting it out. So also thank you for facilitating that space for them where they can do that, right? Like being that mom that's like, no, look, here, burn a Barbie. It's fine. You just get that shit out. Oh, definitely burn Barbies. Yes, that is definitely what Jilzy typed, for sure. Yes, lighting that perfect plastic face. Anyone having Black Hole Sun flashbacks by Soundgarden, like the video every time, like as the Barbie's slowly turning on the spit? That's what I think of every time I hear like melting Barbie. I love that. Let's go burn Barbies together. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so music, every individual note creates the chord, which creates the song ultimately. And isn't that a perfect sort of analogy of the world, right? So some of the notes are very high, and some of them are low, and some of them are a little more minor, and some are a little more major on the scale. And it works together though, right? It works. There's also like the harmonics. That's a whole other, anyway, I'm getting off track. Calm down. But yeah, so everything together creating that, including burning Barbies with your children. Just a hallmark moment. But then from that, ultimately, it's a way we express ourselves. It's a way we work through. It's a way we find therapy in the things that we're doing in our everyday life to get us through these moments of transition and liminal space before we have a new normal. You know, people are saying, oh, it's the end of the world. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think that it's a transition space. I think the world itself isn't going anywhere, but I think that the habits that we have, the mentality that we have is shifting, which is good, but also comes with a lot of struggle, for sure. Not easy. It's absolutely birth pains, Caitlin. Totally agree. 100%. Yes, I've actually said that sentence, so yes, 100%. Help make the notes into chords to vibrate collectively. Make the notes into chords to vibrate. Well, yeah, I mean, that is definitely a thing. That's us coming together. That's us communicating and holding space for one another and trying to show up as best we can in whatever way that we can. And when I say best, I mean like your personal best, not a fucking world standard of like the productive thing. Just wherever you can, in whatever way you can, in whatever way your heart feels pulled. So, yes. But speaking of that, the last card, which it is, it's really funny because we were talking about Swamp Witch earlier, but it's the picture of a swamp and it's rain, purification. So, purification is really important. It's a purging. Purification is not always easy, right? We have to say goodbye to a lot of things. We have to let go of a lot of things. That's that grief work again. And not only are we letting go of certain events in our life, certain people in our life, at least in the way that we knew them to communicate, but we're also letting go of our relationship with self on a certain level, our relationship with the world on a certain level, our relationship with our loved ones, like people we love and know, like that's shifting. Right now we can't gather in person in a lot of places, right? So instead we're doing, Google Hangouts and Zoom conferences and FaceTime, and we're on the phone more. And what that does is it causes us to have to hold a fucking conversation and actually share with each other and work with each other. And I do think that there's a cleansing element in that. I always think that there is a healing to be found in conversation. If you have had a session with me, you know firsthand what I mean by that. But conversation can be absolutely therapeutic. It moves energy as you speak. Blockages release. This whole crazy thing virus situation feels like Mother Earth is hitting the reset button. I think in a lot of ways it's definitely a shift. I don't know if it's a reset as in like a wipe everything, but I do think that it's for sure a shift. For sure. And I think that we all feel that. And I think it's important to sit with that, but also not get swept up. I know a lot of people right now are doing nothing but staring at their timeline or their government site trying to get updates on numbers. And while that is helpful and it's good to watch the news to know like how best to defend yourself and prepare if you need to, there's also a line of self-care where you need to know that this may be draining you or making you feel really tired or powerless. And if that's the case, you do probably need to step back and do whatever else you want, but step back and come into a heart space of you do have power within your immediate space though. And these things are still those things. These things may not be, but these things are. So be really, really careful with your energy right now, guys. Notice like where you are if something is just really draining to you at the moment, and try to counter that as much as you can, either by minimizing the time spent there or by bringing some crystals that help you to protect yourself, or taking more ritual baths to try and let go of that shit. We're purging. We're purging in a lot of ways. We're purifying. That rain is falling down. And you know what? Here's the thing. The last few nights we've had a rainstorm here. Thunderstorm, actually, which I love storms. And anyone who knows me personally, like, they know that I hear a storm and I run outside. Like, I'm like a little kid. I rain on me. I love it. And it's extremely therapeutic. It's like a whole fresh start. Like, you come in with new eyes. Have you ever just like rested your eyes for a little bit in class or something when you were younger, and then you open them up and everything was more vivid and the sound was louder and more crisp? That's what a rainstorm does. It pulls you back to you. It wakes you up. So, you know, if you don't think I'm crazy on that, next time there's a rainstorm, run outside and play in it for a little bit. Jump in a fucking puddle. You can wash your clothes. It doesn't matter. From what I can see, relationships are either starting, ending, or getting stronger as well. Absolutely. Yeah, there's definitely new ones being formed for sure. I think people are showing up in different ways than they're used to. And that's, you know, we're finding new avenues now, new roads. I love to sit on my front porch when there is a storm. I've done that since I was a kid. Yes, absolutely. We used to do it too. I do not have a porch. Well, not in the front anyway. But I love rainstorms. Like, my favorite thing to do is have the windows open during one. I love the sound of it and the smell that the air gets. Look, my sinuses don't like the pressure change, but I love the smell of it. Petrichor, yes. What else? Maple, I feel the same. Where's Maple? Oh, from the, starting in any relationships, absolutely. Yes, the smell. It smells so good. Like the wet wood, the wet bark. Oh, so nice. Yes, and everything can start fresh. And that's kind of the mood of this card, right? Like, the rain comes down, purifies, washes everything, goes back to the river, starts again. It's all part of the cycle. And I think that's also something that the rain kind of reminds you of when you run outside, and it is sort of a, oh, wait, I'm part of this. It's not happening like to me, it's happening with me. I'm part of this. Huh. Well, ain't that some shit? First do-it-yourself mask complete. She did a thing. Yes! My mother-in-law dropped us off a mask, and she dropped us off two, and one of them legit has Elsa on it. And she's like, they're not the manliest masks, so my son might not like them, but here's some masks. Nice job. Let's see, I did some yesterday too. Yes. That's great. You know, I saw something on TikTok the other day that's really interesting. It's the bandana one. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but basically they fold the bandana like long ways, and then they take two hair ties and they slip them on the ends, and then they fold that over and over and tuck the end in, and then they use the hair ties as an earpiece. Well, I saw someone using that, and then like they just blew out a candle like it was nothing. So like the filter there isn't ideal. So then she found a piece of air filter and then cut it into a little cube and then put it in the bandana when she folded it and put it on, and like couldn't blow out the candle. Like, it was this close and couldn't do shit. So really good idea. And the air filters are supposed to guard against, like, you know, bacteria and things like that. Like, they're good for that. They're antimicrobial and shit. So that was a really good idea. So if you guys have any of those, that might be a cool idea too. Yeah. I'm so grateful to know that I can hand sew. Absolutely. Yes. heads like a big credit out to all of my like canning witches and my veggie growing witches and my sewing witches, my homesteading peeps. You're like the MVPs right now. Like, I mean, like at home anyway, because the real MVPs, in my opinion, are like the nurses, the truck drivers, those kind of people that are busting their ass right now. Petrichor, exactly. What I said earlier, petrichor's smell of rain on dry earth also gets you into TARDIS. Well, speaking of rain, what are some of your favorite uses for rainwater? Depends. I really like to use like nice storm rainwater. I like to use on, well, actually I have some in my fridge right now. So I use it as a combination. So some of them are sort of banishing stuff, sort of exorcism wise, like, and it's not like, it makes it sound so dramatic that way, but it's basically just like getting rid of any of the funk. Like, I beseech you. So I like to take those on my stove and put some herbs and oils and such in there and then drain that out and then put it into a spray bottle and then stick that spray bottle in the fridge so that it's cold and it retains that sort of electric feeling, like that electrical charge that the stormwater naturally has to it. And then I'll just walk in and spray my shit down. I do label it. Please label it. If you put something in your fridge and you have something like that going on, please label it. But yeah, I have one for that. And then I also have a rejuvenation one that I do something similar with, and it has snow water that I used. So my favorite uses are that, like pick-me-ups and purges. It also makes your house smell amazing in the process, which is great, and clears out your sinuses depending on what you're using. My naked feet have been outside so much this week. Good. You know what? I hate shoes. Like, I'll wear combat boots. That's my shoe of choice. But in the summer, it's flip-flops or barefoot. Like, I hate shoes. I just want to be barefoot everywhere. I am still a country kid at heart. Like, I may be living in the city, but I am from the boonies of Virginia, and I kind of just want to run around barefoot. You're welcome, Amy. I hate bras. I'm not like a big fan of them. I do wear them if I'm like working on stuff because like it's ample, and like if I'm trying to bend over and shit, like that hurts even worse on my back. So they do help in some situations, but yeah, they're not ideal. I hate shoes too. Yeah, man, like they just feel so constricting. You know what I really hate? Toe socks. I hate toe socks. Oh my gosh. They can burn, all of them, a lot of them. Like, look, I know that they're cool and they're like, they're colorful and shit, but like, can't we do that with a regular sock? Do we need toe socks? Just like the feeling of it between my toes. Just anyway. Billy need to switch colony. Yes. Skyclad is entirely optional, as you well remember. What's the quote from? Anybody? Yes. You hate pants. Yes. It's really funny because like, I'm imagining everybody doing these work conferences from home and like everybody's in pajama pants. Like I'm in pajama pants right now. I have a black pair of pajama pants on. Because they're comfy. Yes, it's totally practical magic, Lily. Aunt Jet. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I am gonna wrap this up soon. Any other suggestions on videos, any requests, anything you'd like to see me cover or talk about? Some things about me for people maybe who haven't watched. I am hereditary. I grew up in like a pagan mother, Southern Baptist father household. I'm a death midwife. I am a life coach. I have Reiki, energy medicine, quantum touch, all of that stuff, like priestess, etc. And to talk about a lot of different things. And it's usually a pretty practical approach and with a lot of joking and cussing. Do you have any videos on protection? There is an older live, I think there's two of them actually, one on her channel and one on mine, with Joey Morris that you could look at, but I don't have any that are just dedicated to purely that in like a shorter span. So I could do that. I could talk about that a little more and maybe go back and see like if there's anything we didn't cover on those or like that I can expand on more for you guys. Is there anything specific with protection that you're looking for? You'd like to see the crib. Okay, so house tour. Oh, there's something I did a while back, guys, and I don't know if you'd be interested in doing it again, but a long time ago, I did like a live show and tell of this room and all the shit in it because you guys are always commenting about like the background and stuff. And I don't know, I thought maybe I could like just pick something in the room and start talking about it, tell you about the story of it and the energy of it, etc. That's also something that I kind of do on my Patreon. It's called Bless This Hearth, like bless your heart, like bless your hearth. But yeah. Let's see. Do you have any videos on protection? I'd like to see crib. I want to try a video on kitchen witchery and herbal stuff. Okay. I'm just writing it down. Let's see. Room tour. Sweet. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. I was just gonna ask that room show and tell. No, dude, totally. I did it live a while back, and it takes a while live. I could do some of them live if you want, or I could like break it down and just pick random things. If there's anything particular in the background that you are curious about, let me know and I can like make a video about it. Probably don't just say, you know, that thing over there. I'll need more detail. Thank you, that gay witch. Thanks. I try. I try to be. I try to be as nice as I can. I mean, people are human. But yeah. That's the goal, right? To at least try. Do better. Not really, just general sort of stuff. Okay, no problem. I can do that. Just could you maybe do something about how you connect to the land you live on? Yeah, that would be an interesting story because I'm originally from Virginia and I moved here in Ohio. So it's definitely a very different land and it was an adjustment. So sure, I can do that. Writing that down. Absolutely. I like that idea. Yes. You know, it's so strange that you popped up live because I just watched a little video of yours last night before bed. Ha! You know. You knew. You knew before I knew. Yeah. So I also just want to like start doing more of these too. Like just let's chat, hang out things, catch up with you guys, see what's up. Day in the life vlog. I mean, my life isn't extremely exciting, but sure. A lot of it is spent during a weekday here. You guys don't get a lot of day in the life vlogs outside of this space or the rest of the house, like mainly because my husband just doesn't want to be on camera. And I don't want to force him to. So that's a big part of that. But yeah, I could figure out something. I could do that. Day in a laugh. Here we go. Do you guys want a tour of all my coffee mugs? I've got like a Darth Vader one. It's a problem. My husband definitely bitches sometimes because he can't close the cabinet door. All right, sweet. You do? All right, sure. I'll do a tour of the coffee mugs. Why not? Coffee with Chris. Yes, actually, I do like the alliteration there. Okay, cool. So far I've got like ASMR earth grinding, card shuffling, candle flame, walking in the woods or on gravel, ritual, excuse me, a video on protection, um, house tour stuff, kitchen witchery, or like herbal stuff, house tour or room tour. Let's see, connecting to the land that I live on, day in the life, and mug tour. No self-control with travel tumblers. Yeah, I really liked Teen Tarot. That's part of how my mug problem started. I just kept wanting new ones, and then it never stopped. Can't close the damn cover to get rid of these damn things. Then she comes home and with 3 of them for me. So she's part of the problem. How I connect and work with spirits. Ooh, that would be any specific spirits? Because, like, I don't know, like ancestors and stuff is something that I mean, out of the base of anything, guys, like, it was really interesting because recently I asked you guys on Facebook if I was a Hogwarts teacher, what would I teach? And predominantly, a lot of people said divination, which is very fascinating to me. Because I would consider like the root of what I do ancestral work, like hardcore ancestral. Um, just in like anything that I do, meaning like I'm in hardcore in that, like anything I do relates back to ancestors for me. So that was really interesting. I mean, I love divination, don't get me wrong. And when I was in a British hereditary coven, like my specialization was divination. So like I get it. But yeah. Ooh, I have a videos. How I connect to work with spirits. I'll write that down. Thanks for all of the ideas, guys. This is very helpful. I'm excited about it too. When I go near a crystal shop, I cannot control myself. I buy at least 5. Oh my God, wait a minute. You guys haven't seen the newest baby. Would you like to see my newest baby? If you're on my Patreon, you've definitely seen the newest baby. But otherwise, would you like to see my newest baby? I have to like get up and use both hands, but hold on. I love that. I wonder what peeps on my channel think I would teach. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to think about that, Rebecca. What would Rebecca teach? Deity study, maybe? You focus on Freya a lot. Let's see. Do you incorporate any type of hoodoo magic into your practice? That's very interesting. So my sister that lives with me does hoodoo, and so I am very familiar, and I do have a rapport with the deities that she works with, and they're in my house, and they do interact. And for sure, Legba is fond of me. Like legit, one day I was like, "Why are you here?" And he was like, "You do my work. Why am I not here? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, woman?" So, yes, crossroad liminal work. He meant. But yeah, I can talk a bit about that. Sure. Yes, you want to see shows. Oh, right, the crystal baby. Yes. I must not get distracted. Okay, hold on. Sit there. It's the crystal baby. See the little baby on the top? Show her. There we go. It's the little baby. Let's get close, see if that'll help. Yeah, there we go. Boop. Got another little baby here too. Oh goodness. Okay, hold on. Putting it back. There we go. So that came from my mom, actually. There's a story behind that. Growing up, my mom would always do gatherings, like drummings and stuff, and with the crones, as we call them. And so in the center of the circle would always be like a flame of some sort or a bonfire, and then like crystals. And usually that crystal was there. So it holds sort of the energy of like the women's gatherings that my mother did. And just gatherings in general, not just women, because some of them were both. And I'm like out of breath now. God damn, that thing's heavy. And so she sent that to me recently for Yule. It was my Yule present. And she was like, nope, it's time for you to have it now since you're the acting priestess in the family. Like, it's your turn. So, yeah, when I use that, that is, gosh, that's like generations of gathering and connection to me. So it's got a lot of, like it's a sentimental piece, but it's also massive and it's my baby. Yes, multiple terminations, absolutely. Can we just share custody of that baby? No. But we can share in its energy. Yeah. Hey, no, it's so vivid. My friend and I both felt a weird energy spike shift last night. We haven't figured out what was going on yet. I was wondering if anyone else felt something weird, if it was just us. I mean, there was like a moon recently, like a full moon, so that could be part of it. But it could also be part of like the birth pains going on with everything. I did not feel too much of a spike last night myself. Oh no, wait, yes. Wait, was that ritual night? What is today? Everything is blurring now. Yeah, so it's Thursday. So no, because I think it was Tuesday that I felt a spike. Ooh. All right. Wait, so I want to make sure that I got stuff because I think I missed like a question or something in here. Voodoo magic, got that. There's people who do divination, get that insight from spirit ancestors, so it makes sense that you're good at it. Well, that's a good point, Raven, or Wolf Raven. Yeah, that's true. Just for people viewing later, she says, but I think the best people who do divination get that insight from spirit / ancestors, so it makes sense that you're good at it. She's fabulous. Thanks, Cambridge. Yes. All right. So there are people feeling it as well. Cool. Just felt my 4-year-old grandson's foot up my ass. Oh, goodness. When you lived in Virginia, did you ever happen to go to the Heritage Store at Virginia Beach? Yes. And see the huge crystal quartz cluster in that store? Yes. Absolutely. Yes, I did. It's great energy there. Is your family able to stay isolated and safe? Oh, thanks for asking. So the rest of my family is in the boonies in Virginia. So like they're pretty isolated already and are staying isolated. My husband is working. He was isolated for like 2 weeks because they stopped everything. But he's back now, and it's because he's making medical equipment for people who need it. So, but then coming directly home, washing everything down, disinfecting, and then relaxing, and then doing it again. Myself, yeah. I mean, to be very honest, I have a Cancer moon and I like home a lot. So this is pretty much a day-to-day situation for me. Like this is already my normal routine, basically. So I stay home a lot. And if I go anywhere, it's either to pick my husband up or take him to work, or it is to go for a walk at like the botanical garden or something like that. And I haven't really even been doing that. I've just been going in my backyard. Do you have to work with deities and witchcraft? Do you have to? No, absolutely not. You ain't got to do shit. This here, your juke joint. Fellow Cancer moon as well. Yes. Hold it down. Yeah, I'm a Capricorn sun, Cancer moon, Leo rising. Do with that what you will. Now we can bring a riches to practice. I think that deity work isn't for everyone though. Like some people, they really like it. Some people prefer to work from sort of an omnious point of view. Some people work from a soft polytheist. Some people are hard polytheists, and some people are atheists and they practice and they love it, and it's very deep for them too. So I think that it depends on the purpose, or on the person, and what you're trying to do. And that's the thing is like, if you've met one witch, you've met one witch. Like we all practice quite differently. So even within like a very structured cultural practice, they will still have variations on what they personally do in their home. So, yeah. That roaring Leo rising. Yes, indeed. Guys, could you possibly do a video on reading your natal chart? That shit's confusing as fuck. Yeah, sure. I am not well schooled in degrees, like getting down to the degrees, but yeah, we can totally talk about like your planet placement and like when you look at that chart, what does that even look like and what does it mean? Like those pieces. Sure, totally. I could do that. Natal chart, writing it down. Let's see. Anything else? Same solar as 6 feet apart works for me, but I understand why it doesn't make people feel great too. Yeah. We definitely hadn't been doing social distancing. If we go out to shop, it's like once a month or something like that. Like it's very rare. We try to do minimal shit. I don't touch anything if I can keep from touching it. Like it just goes directly in the box. We are Lysoling down everything before we bring it in the house. That whole 9 yards. Yeah. Whew. All right. But that is a good question. Do you have to work with deity? I'll just do like a video on that too, because even though I answered it here, I'm sure there are people that would search for a video like that and want an answer. Cool. Okay, guys. Well, if there isn't anything else or any other questions or video ideas, and of course, if you think of them afterwards or you're watching this later after the live has finished, you're welcome to put them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear. I'm always an open book with that, and love feedback. You and your sister work with deities of liminal spaces. Yes. So my sister works with Baron and Mama and Legba. And she has some others too, but yeah, I'll let her say that. But yes. Yes, hit that bell. Thank you, Caitlin. Would you like to be my new rep? Yes, hit the bell underneath, please. Make sure you're subscribed and you have the little shake-in motion on the bell so that you will get updated when I do things on here, since I'm going to be posting more. Yay. Thank you guys for like showing up and giving me all these awesome ideas and catching up with me and like telling me about how you're dealing with stuff and like melting Barbies and things. So I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much. And it was a pleasure talking to you guys as always. And I will see you very, very soon in more videos. I love your faces. Take care. Be safe. Okay.